Here's a scary question. What if one of your biggest beliefs about yourself isn't even true? Not a lie someone told you, not something you read in a book, just a guess. A random guess that showed up in your head one day and somehow you started treating it like solid, unshakable fact. It sounds small, but this one habit quietly wrecks careers, relationships, and dreams every single day, and most people never even notice it's happening. Think about how many times you've said, out loud or in your head, I just know this won't work, or I know they don't like me. Did you actually know that? Or did you guess it once and then simply stopped questioning it? In this video, we're going deeper into how a simple guess turns into a fact inside your brain, why your mind is so easily fooled, real examples of this trap in everyday life, and exactly how to catch yourself before a guess controls your next big decision. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at your own thoughts the same way again. Let's start with how this actually works. Section 1. The moment a guess is born. Every guess starts the same way. Something happens. You get rejected, you fail a test, someone gives you a strange look, and your brain, being the meaning-making machine it is, instantly tries to explain it. Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe I'm not likable. Maybe I'm too old for this. That's just a thought, a first draft, a guess your brain typed out in half a second with zero proof behind it. The problem is, your brain doesn't label it as a guess. It doesn't flash a warning sign. It just quietly files it away like it's true. And here's the sneaky part. The guess usually shows up in a split second, way faster than any careful thinking could ever happen. There's no debate, no evidence review, no second opinion, just a flash of an idea, and suddenly it feels like something you've always known about yourself. Section 2. Why your brain can't tell the difference. Here's something wild. Your brain is wired to prioritize speed over accuracy. Thousands of years ago, guessing fast kept us alive. If you heard a rustle in the grass, you didn't wait for proof it was a lion. You guessed danger and you ran. That instinct never left us. Today, instead of lions, we face rejection, criticism, and failure. But the brain still reacts the same way. It guesses fast, then locks in that guess as reality so you can move on and feel safe again. Feeling certain is comfortable. Staying in doubt is uncomfortable. So your brain rushes to certainty even when the guess is wrong. Think about it like this. Uncertainty feels like standing on wobbly ground. Certainty, even false certainty, feels like standing on solid concrete. So your brain will almost always choose the concrete, even if that concrete is actually a lie. Section 3. How a guess becomes fact. A guess doesn't become a fact overnight. It becomes one through repetition. You think it once, then twice. Then you start noticing evidence that confirms it while ignoring anything that disagrees. This is called confirmation bias, and it's one of the sneakiest tricks your mind plays on you. Say you believe, I'm bad at public speaking. After one shaky presentation, your brain locks on to every awkward pause you've ever had. It quietly ignores the times people actually complimented you. Within weeks, that guess feels like undeniable truth. This is the exact same pattern that turns maybe I said something wrong into people don't actually like me, or turns this one project failed into I'm just not cut out for this job. The guess keeps collecting fake evidence, and fake evidence still feels convincing when you're not looking for it on purpose. Section 4. Real examples of this trap. Let's make this real. A woman assumes she's too old to switch careers at 40. She never applies for the job she wants. 10 years later, she's still in the same seat, believing a guess she never tested. A student gets one bad grade in math and decides, I'm just not a math person. That guess follows him for the rest of school, shaping every class he avoids. A guy gets turned down once when asking someone out and quietly decides, people like me don't get chosen. That single guess can quietly shape years of missed connections. A small business owner has one slow month and decides this idea was never going to work. She shuts down the business, never realizing the slow month was completely normal and had nothing to do with the idea itself. None of these guesses were facts. They were single data points dressed up as permanent truths. Section 5. The hidden cost of believing a guess. Here's the real danger. Once a guess becomes a fact in your mind, it starts making decisions for you. You stop applying for jobs you're qualified for. You stop raising your hand in class. You stop reaching out to people who might actually like you. Not because reality said no, but because a guess whispered no first. Little by little, the guess doesn't just describe your life, it designs it, one avoided opportunity at a time. The tragedy isn't the original guess. The tragedy is everything you never tried because you believed it. And it doesn't stop with you. Guesses spread. A parent who guesses, "We can't afford to dream big," might unintentionally teach that same guess to their kids. A guess can quietly become a family pattern, passed down like it's wisdom, when really it's just an old, untested assumption that nobody ever challenged. Section 6. How to catch a guess before it takes over. So how do you fight back? It starts with one simple question. Is this actually true, or is this just a guess I've repeated a lot? Try this 3-step check. First, name the guess out loud, like, "I think I'm bad at this." Second, ask for the actual evidence. Not feelings, but real proof. Third, look for at least one moment that contradicts the guess completely. Most guesses fall apart the second you demand real evidence, because they were never built on evidence in the first place. Here's a trick that makes this easier. Talk about your guess like it belongs to a friend, not you. If a friend said, "I failed once, so I'll always fail," you'd immediately spot how shaky that sounds. Use that same outside perspective on your own guesses, and suddenly they're much easier to challenge. Fun fact number 1. Psychologists call this pattern the availability heuristic. Your brain judges how true something is based on how easily examples come to mind, not on actual statistics. So, one painful memory can feel like proof, even when the real numbers say otherwise. Fun fact number 2. Studies on cognitive bias show people are more likely to remember and trust negative guesses about themselves than positive ones. This is called negativity bias, and it means your brain is quietly wired to believe your worst guesses faster than your best ones. Fun fact number 3. Researchers have found that simply writing a guess down on paper and rereading it out loud often makes it sound far weaker than it felt in your head. Turning a silent thought into spoken or written words strips away a lot of its false power. Here's how this applies to your life starting today. Pick one belief you have about yourself that feels heavy. Something like, "I'm bad at relationships," or "I always mess things up." Now, ask yourself honestly, is this a fact, backed by real evidence? Or is this a guess I've simply repeated enough times to believe it? You don't have to fix your whole mindset today. You just have to catch one guess, question it, and refuse to let it steer your next decision blindly. Try writing that one guess down tonight. Underneath it, write one piece of real evidence against it. Just one. That single sentence can be the crack that eventually breaks the whole belief apart. The key idea is simple. A guess repeated often enough starts to feel like truth, but repetition isn't proof. Question the guesses running your life, and you take back control of your choices. If this video made you rethink a belief you've been carrying around, hit like, subscribe for more videos like this, and tell me in the comments, what's one guess about yourself you're finally ready to question? In the next video, we're going deeper into how these hidden beliefs quietly shape your relationships and the one conversation habit that can undo years of damage in just a few honest words. We'll look at why some people repeat the same argument over and over without realizing it, and the small shift that finally breaks the cycle. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. See you there.